Thank you, Ms. Nimisha and Co, for bringing a positive energy to this inaugural ceremony. The lighting of the lamp symbolizes the enlightenment of knowledge, wisdom, and prosperity. It reminds us of our collective commitment to knowledge, harmony, and progress. It is with great honor that we invite our distinguished dignitaries to light the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
A heartfelt thanks to our esteemed dignitaries for leading this auspicious beginning and to illuminate our path forward. Behind every successful team, there is a great leader. Now, I would like to invite a great leader and our beloved principal, Dr. S.P. Dhanabal, to deliver the welcome address. Please, sir.
Very warm and pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, guests, invitees, fellow faculty members, administrative, supporting staff, dear students, and very supportive press personals. National Pharmacy Week, a celebration of the pharmacy team of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, is celebrated every year with pride, ensuring pharmaceutical services in the country to be the best to meet the healthcare needs of the people. The major focus of the celebration is to create awareness amongst the public, other healthcare providers and the authorities about the National Pharmacy Week theme in specific and about the pharmacy profession and the role of the pharmacist in general. Education is a basic necessity to realize the freedom and democracy. A profound statement by the Rajaguru Dilaga Jagatguru Rajendra Mahaswamiji, the 23rd Pontiff of Sri Suturmat in the early 19th century. Without his visionary foundation, this gathering to celebrate this occasion would not have been possible. I invoke his divine blessings for the resounding success of this event. The dream of Jagatguru Rajendra Swamiji, education for all, was meticulously nurtured by his successor, the 24th Pontiff, Jagatguru Sri Sivaratri Desikendra Mahaswamiji. I humbly offer my pranams and express sincere gratitude to the lotus feet of His Holiness Jagatguru Sri Sivaratri Desikendra Mahaswamiji and Sri Sutur Sri Setra. I seek his divine blessings for the triumphant success of this event. With deep reverence, I convey Swamiji's message of his best wishes and divine blessings to all of us for the grand success of this 63rd National Pharmacy Week celebrations. Fortuitously, the weather has aligned with our aspirations. The sun and I extend a warm welcome to you all, filled with the collective desires, hopes, and dreams we share. It's an immense privilege today to welcome esteemed individuals who believe in the power of dreams and strive to realize them. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are graced with the presence of luminaries. I glance around the stage and I am awestruck by the collective expertise gathered here. We are honored to welcome some of the most distinguished personalities, our esteemed guests on the dais. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Any function at JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty is incomplete without the presence of Guru of Guru, teacher of teacher, mentor of mentor, and leader of leader. The Bhisma Pitamaha of Pharmacy Profession of India, none other than the president of today's event, Professor K. Sinnaswamy, the president, Indian Association of the College of Pharmacy, a mentor and well-wisher of JSS, who has consistently guided and supported our institution to achieve this remarkable stature. Sir, we deeply admire your simplicity and empowering skills. We extend a hearty and warm welcome to you, sir. High achievers swiftly identify rich opportunities, make decisive decisions promptly, and take immediate action. An achiever who serves as an inspiration to all of us is our chief guest, Ms. Lakshmi Bhavya Tanniru, IAS Collector of the Nilgiris District. Ms. Tanniru, a dynamic officer from the 2015 batch of the Indian Administrative Service, exemplifies excellence in governance and a steadfast commitment to public service. With a strong academic foundation, holding a BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering and an MA in Public Management, she has combined intellectual rigor with practical expertise throughout her career. Her professional journey is adorned with remarkable achievements. She has played a pivotal role in national policy making, contributing to the drafting of the National Policy for Women and developing an online portal for filing complaints on sexual harassment at the workplace, a step forward in ensuring gender justice and workplace safety. Ms. Tanniru has also excelled in operational leadership, from conducting Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections with efficiency and transparency to managing critical public health challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic, where she served as the officer in charge for public health in her district. Her efforts during these unprecedented times exemplify her resilience, dedication, and ability to lead in the face of adversity. Since assuming office as the 116th Collector of the Nilgiris on July 17, 2024, she has championed initiatives in sustainable development, environmental conservation, and inclusive governance. Ms. Tanniru's leadership and vision inspire all of us. She is a role model for aspiring leaders, embodying the values of the hard work, compassion, and innovation. It's an honor to have Madam with us today to share her insight and experiences. Your journey inspires us to aim higher, act decisively, and work with a purpose that benefits society. On behalf of everyone present here, I extend a heartfelt and warm welcome to you, Madam. Achievers possess a can-do attitude that distinguishes them from more dreamers. They are resolute in their pursuit of success, undeterred by obstacles, and willing to invest the necessary effort and pay the price of success. It's a great privilege and honor to welcome Dr. S. Sachidanand, former Vice Chancellor, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, and presently the Executive Director of the Sri Siddhaganga Medical College, Tumkur, as our guest of honor. With decades of experience and numerous accomplishments to his credit, he has dedicated his life to advancing medical science and improving public health. As the Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, he played a pivotal role in elevating the university's stature as one of the premier institutions for medical education in the country. His visionary leadership fostered excellence in academic research and healthcare delivery. Currently serving as the Executive Director of the Sri Siddhaganga Medical College, Tumkur, Karnataka, Dr. Sachidanand continues to inspire and guide future generations of the healthcare professionals. His contributions extend beyond academics. He has been actively involved in shaping policies and programs that ensure access to quality healthcare for all. Dr. Sachidanand's illustrious career is marked by his relentless pursuit of innovation and his commitment to ethical and inclusive medical practices. A highly respected figure in the medical fraternity, he has received numerous accolades for his work in promoting medical education and healthcare services, embodying the values of dedication, perseverance, and compassion. Dr. Sachidanand's profound expertise in the field of pharmaceutical education, visionary leadership, and valuable insight will undoubtedly enrich this occasion. Sir, despite your demanding schedule, you have graciously agreed to support and participate in our inaugural event. We extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. Leaders inspire their teams with hope for success and instill confidence in their abilities. Positive leaders empower individuals to achieve their goals. Our guest of honor for today's function, Dr. M.J.N. Chandrasekhar, head of the JSS School of License, Longwood, Ooty, exemplifies such positive leadership. You have achieved remarkable success in your career, and it's truly a pleasure to have you here. I extend a hearty welcome to my colleague from the sister concern, JSS School of Life Sciences, Ooty. One of our cherished traditions is to invite a distinguished alumnus to grace the Pharmacy Week event, a meaningful celebration of our students' real achievements and their contributions to science and society. This year, we are privileged to have Dr. Govind Ajmera, CEO of the Apple Hospital, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, as our keynote speaker. He will share his valuable insights on the theme, think health and think pharmacy. As a proud alumnus, you have consistently provided unwavering support to this institution. Dr. Govind, you have made us proud, and we eagerly anticipate your keynote address. We are immensely delighted to welcome you home today, and also we extend a warm welcome to your better half, Mrs. Ainsri. Welcome. During this week-long celebration, a diverse array of professional and cultural activities has been meticulously planned by the organizers. I extend my best wishes for the successful conduct of all these activities. I welcome all our friends from the media and the press and express my sincere gratitude for your continued support. To our esteemed guests and invitees, your presence here today is a moment to cherish forever, as our students feel immensely encouraged. I am deeply honored and extend to you all the warmest welcome. I also extend a warm welcome and thank all my colleagues, both teaching and non-teaching staff, for their tireless efforts in organizing this event. A special mention of appreciation goes to the Indian Pharmaceutical Association Nilgiris local branch that deserves our sincere thanks for the instrumental role in making this event a reality. I welcome all the IPA Nilgiris local branch and also Dr. KP Arun, a vice principal, for this event. I extend a warm welcome to all our esteemed students. This platform is yours to embrace. A stage to cultivate essential soft skills, including organization, teamwork, communication, emotional intelligence, and the brilliant display of your unique talents over the next 5 days. I offer my sincerest wishes to each and every student for their enthusiastic participation. May you enjoy this experience to the fullest while always acting responsibly. Our deepest appreciation and admirations go to Rovancers and Cratiorans for the dedicated student organizers, respectively in their 4th and 3rd years of the B Farm and Farm D. Your tireless efforts are truly commendable, and I am confident that you will orchestrate a spectacular show. We have already witnessed your remarkable coordination and dedication, and I eagerly anticipate the grand success of your endeavors. With the concluding words of the acknowledgement, encouragement, and enthusiasm, I quote, "Organizing an event, a significant understanding. 2 concurrent events, a formidable challenge. 3 concurrent events, a truly Herculean task. Yet, we stand here today as a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Jayasasians, who firmly believe in the profound truth: if something does not challenge you, it won't change you. Therefore, I invite you all to join me in acknowledging and applauding the extraordinary efforts of the organizing teams, our esteemed teaching and non-teaching staff, and the dedicated student organizers. Their tireless work and commitment have brought these events to fruition, showcasing the remarkable teamwork and collaborative spirit that define Jesus College of Pharmacy, Rocklands, Ooty. It's with immense pride that I once again welcome you all. Thank you. Jai Sri Ram. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome address. Now I request Dr. S. Jubi, Dr. Gaurama, Dr. Deepa Lakshmi to honor the chief guest, Srimati Lakshmi Bhavyata Neeru, IAS District Collector, the Nilgiris.
Now, I call upon Dr. Anand Vijay Kumar, Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Dr. Jawahar to honor Professor K. Chinnaswamy, President, Indian Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, Chennai.
to request Dr. S.P. Dhanabal, Mr. Basavanna, and Dr. Vadivelan to honor Dr. S. Sachidanandan, Executive Director, Siddhaganga Medical College and Research Institute, Karnataka.
Now, I call upon Dr. R. Kalirajan to honor Dr. M. J. N. Chandrasekhar, Professor and Head of JSS School of Life Sciences, Ooty, the Nilgiris.
I would like to request Dr. Arun KP, Dr. Babu, and Dr. Ganesh to honor Dr. Govinda Ajmera, Chief Operating Officer and CEO, Apple Hospitals, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. The wait is over. Get ready to dive into the excitement and energy of Pharmacy Week. Presenting the official trailer. And you are in for a treat, as we not only have one, but two trailers. So let's kickstart the celebration with a bang. Request the chief guest to launch the trailer and costume.
the kind knowledge of all the dignitaries present here. I think the recent, the just small intro which was being shown by on the screen was being made by the fellow pharmacists who are sitting here. So this short teaser was being made by our own students, both the teasers, by the organizers. This is the kind knowledge to all the dignitaries present here. Guys, a great round of applause to the organizers, please. Thank you.
It's time to hear from our chief guest. Now we have the launch of the t-shirts. It's time to hear from our chief guest. We are honored to have with us Srimati Lakshmi Bhavya Taniru, IAS, District Collector, the Nilgiris. Madam, may we please invite you to address the gathering.
A very good morning, everyone. Respected principal, esteemed faculty, dear students and distinguished guests. A very warm and heartfelt greeting to each one of you on the special occasion of 63rd National Pharmacy Week celebrations. It is an honor to be here today, standing among the future leaders of our healthcare system and celebrating the incredible contributions of the pharmacy profession to our nation's health. Pharmacy Week is an occasion not only to recognize and celebrate the significant role that pharmacists play in the healthcare, but also to reflect on the evolving responsibilities you as pharmacy students will undertake as you move forward into your professional lives. Apt to this year's theme, it could not be more relevant as we continue to face the challenges brought on by the ongoing global health situation and the constant changes in medical sciences. As the district collector, I had the privilege of seeing the healthcare system from an administrative and governance perspective. And I can say with utmost confidence that you are the heart of the healthcare system. You are the bridge between the medicine and the patient, translating scientific knowledge into practical, accessible solutions that improve lives of individuals and communities. You have always been the custodians of medication safety and efficacy, ensuring that prescriptions are followed accurately and that patients understand the proper use of their medications. Today, pharmacists are involved in patient counseling, disease management, preventive care, and R&D. They're integral to public health campaigns, chronic disease management, emergency healthcare responses, such as during the COVID-19 pandemic. Your ability to guide, educate, and support patients is critical in fostering a healthier society. As students, you are in a unique position. You are not just learning about the pharmaceutical sciences, but you are also being prepared to be key players in shaping the future of healthcare. In the years ahead, you will face challenges, some that may seem overwhelming, others that may test your resolve. However, you are part of a profession that is adaptable, resilient, and built upon a foundation of service. In my capacity as district collector, I have seen firsthand how you have particularly, especially in rural areas, have made a profound difference in ensuring that medicines and health reach the undeserved population. The work you will do will be vital in strengthening local healthcare systems and improving access to essential medications and services for all sections of society, especially the most vulnerable.
Life Sciences, Ooty, Professor K. Chinnaswamy, President, Indian Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, Chennai, Dr. Govind Ajmera, Chief Operating Officer and CEO, Apple Hospital, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, the most revered and respected Principal, Dr. S.P. Dhanbal of JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty, Dr. K.P. Arun, Vice Principal, faculty members of the College of Pharmacy, parents and dear students. Pharmacy Week is being celebrated along with association with Indian Pharmaceutical Association of Nilgiri's local branch. Such celebrations become meaningful with the participation of the faculty and the students and of course the parents as well. It is to rededicate and recognize the yeoman's service and sacrifice done by not only the faculty members but also the hard work put in by the students. So this week becomes very significant for the fact that you can recollect, reconcile, reproduce and then refresh your memories in the whole week. I'm sure the whole week is packed with a lot of activities, both academic and cultural, which will definitely give wings to the talents of all the students here. My special thanks to both Roverens and Cretiorans. It's very difficult to pronounce the name. Both of you have put up a very good show. In fact, when I saw the short video clip, we are transported into a different world altogether. Maybe it reminded me of Jurassic Park and Avatar. Yes, we have to be in flush with the, or in consonance with the future, with the surroundings, that happenings in the surroundings, and then progress. Pharmacy education in India is of very late, probably 3 or 4 decade old, which has come of age since 1980s. Before 1980s, from the pre-independence era, pharmacy education was very primitive. Not many colleges were there, not many graduates who used to come out of these colleges. But 1980s saw a tremendous paradigm shift in the pharmacy education field. When India got independence, there were hardly double-digit pharmacy colleges in India. Presently, we have around 4,000 pharmacy colleges across India imparting education to almost 1 lakh students. Half of them are private colleges, equally half of them are either government funded or in partnership with private institutions. Amongst all those colleges, to be in the top 10, both the JSS College of Pharmacy in Ooty and in Mysore, to be in the top 10, it's a great honor. I think you deserve a round of applause for that. Number 4 and number 6, consistently, year after year, being in the top 10 is not a real joke. It needs dedication, it needs discipline, it needs constant efforts to be on top. Reaching the top is easy, but being in the top always, it's more difficult to them. And that task has been achieved by the Principal Dr. S.P. Dhanbal and his whole team, who are always so dedicated and they sacrifice a lot to achieve this. I hope you continue to keep this and maintain the rankings and bring laurels to JSS University as well. Students, pharmacy professionals are the 3rd largest professionals as far as healthcare professionals are concerned. The largest number of healthcare professionals are of course nurses. Nursing profession, we need more of them, so they are the number 1. Number 2 is doctors. Number 3 is pharmacy professionals as far as numbers are concerned. I'm not talking about the ranking or anything of that sort. As far as the numbers are concerned, and you are all an integral part of the healthcare delivery system. In the spoke of a wheel, there will be a number of spokes. You are one of the very important spokes. In fact, the collector told you are the heart of healthcare healthcare professional system. We have colleges imparting pharmacy education, starting from D Pharm on one end to Pharm D and PhD on the other end. The whole spectrum of degrees being offered by these colleges are a testimony to the fact that pharmacy education is growing in India. On the other hand, pharmacy industry is also growing to a large extent. You are all aware of the IT professionals, IT revolution that took place, IT and BT, we talked about that. But we are not aware of the PT revolution, pharmacy technology revolution that has happened in the last 3 or 4 decades. Slowly but surely, steadily, the pharmacy technology has evolved, and today we are proud to say that Indian pharmaceutical industry is actually the third largest as far as the number of products are being manufactured here in India, but 13th as far as the value of the products are concerned. To reach that, and also to get the name as Pharmacy Ball of the World. India is called the Pharmacy Ball of the World. It's all due to the pharmacy technology revolution that has happened in the last 4 decades. We can't be aloof of the happenings that are around us. Especially now, you're all in the era of artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things and whatnot. These are all the buzzwords now. We can't be away. We can't be sitting silent or closing our eyes from these things. Artificial intelligence is the future of our country, not only country but the entire world, wherein slowly it will creep into our professions. It will also creep into pharmacy profession with the fact that, which we have witnessed very recently during COVID times. India very proudly presented the COVID vaccines to the world, and all of these were brought within 1 year. Normally you know that for a drug discovery and drug being brought to the market, it takes anywhere between 10 to 12 years. But the whole process was fast-tracked, and within a year we could get vaccines, and in fact we could save the entire humanity by giving these vaccines free supply to more than 150 countries. That is the capacity that our nation has got, and I'm sure this would definitely bring in lot of good support and camaraderie in the world of pharmacy. Pharmacy professionals have got an important role to play. We know in an hospital, Dr. Govind Ajmer will agree with me, there are specialists, there are super specialists, there are broad specialty doctors, each of them delivering their services. Suppose a patient gets admitted with multiple problems. He has cardiac problems, he has renal problems, he has liver problem, and then also hematological problems. They're all attended by different doctors, different specialist doctors. They come and see the patient, write their prescriptions and go away. For a patient, the number of drugs keeps on adding. Cardiologist writes about 3 or 4 drugs. The physician writes 1 or 2 drugs. The nephrologist writes another 2 or 3 drugs. The number of drugs for the patient becomes 10 to 15 or even double digits. None of them are really bothered about looking at why the prescriptions have to be given. Are they safe? Are there any drug interactions that happen between the 2 drugs that are given? The polypharmacy is actually, it might kill the patient. We don't even know that. It is estimated that in United States at least, the third largest killer of patients is the drugs. Drugs are supposed to save the life of the patients, but here there is a paradox where without our knowledge, we are prescribing drugs to a patient, they interact. After all, they are all chemicals, isn't it? When they get into the body in vivo, they interact with each other, and drug interactions itself is the leading cause of death in many. And that is where the pharmacy professionals come to play. You are the ones who will guide the doctor, who will warn the doctor, who will modify the prescriptions of the doctors by doing prescription audits and telling them that these drugs cannot be given together. Even though the patient may require, you have to find a mid path or a different drug which alternates and does not produce the side effects. That is the role played by Pharm D students now. They are slowly being adopted in the healthcare delivery system. hospital, multi-specialty hospital in Indore. Not only is on the management side, but also probably, yes, he would be doing the prescription audits as well, and then framing a policy in the hospital. So that is a role played by pharmacy professionals. And apart from that, the B.Pharm graduates, the M.Pharm graduates, the PhD graduates are all having opportunity to either go into the industry or into the teaching side. Both the professions are noble professions. The teaching profession is one which keeps on the legacy of producing good students in good colleges. On the other hand, industry also plays an important role in getting drugs which are essential for the human life to continue. You are all aware the second most menace that doctors are facing are multi-drug resistant microorganisms. The usage of drugs, or rather misuse of drugs, especially antibiotics, will lead to what is called as resistance development by the bacteria. Bacteria, they also have to survive, so they overcome these antibiotic influence or action, and they develop resistance. And this multi-drug resistance is a big bane to the society, human society also. And we cannot keep producing antibiotics every now and then. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, money, energy to produce one single antibiotic. And if you don't use these antibiotics judiciously, we are going to land up with multi-drug resistance bacteria, which will definitely hamper the lives of human beings. That is where pharmacy professionals' role comes into play. You have to frame policies as to how a drug has to be used rather than misused, because once antibiotic is there, they keep prescribing left, right, and center, and slowly but surely, within a period of not even a decade, antibiotic resistance starts developing. We had such wonderful drugs like rifampicin. We had wonderful drugs like sulfonamides. Now many bacteria are resistant to these antibiotics prevailing in the market. So pharmacy professionals have a role to play there also by framing policies, regulatory policies, and usage of drugs in a judicious way. The guidelines have to be laid down. I'm sure the pharmacy education will come of age. You have a Apex Body Pharmacy Council of India. You have these courses. My appeal to the Pharmacy Council of India is that the syllabus of these courses have to be revised very frequently. Normally, it has to be revised once in 4 to 5 years, but it takes around 10 to 12 years by the time they wake up and then start revising the syllabus. More autonomy has to be given to such colleges which are under the deemed to be universities. They have to be autonomous. They should develop their own syllabi to bring in the latest that is available in the, in the market. A good link between the industry and the pharmacy education should be there. What is the need of the society? What is the need of the community? That has to be taught to the students. There is no point in learning, cos theta by sin theta is equal to tan theta, which we never apply in our life. Similar formulas, we are not going to use it in our day-to-day life at all. We need to learn, we need to teach the students as to what is required by the market. And that is where the collaboration between industry and pharmacy colleges, pharmacy educators should always be there. Academicians and industrialists should get together to see that it benefits the society at large. And even our syllabi should also be designed in such a way that these things are imparted in a day-to-day classrooms. What is more important, the role to be played by such institutions is not only imparting education to the students, but also making them wholesome citizens of India. The moment you go out of the portals of this college, you have a brand of JSS on your forehead. Not only you have a degree in your hand, degree certificate, but also you have a brand on your forehead saying that you are from JSS, which means that you have been bred, you have been taught, you have been mentored in an institution which has got such a brand equity. JSS itself is a brand equity, and wherever you go, that name gives you that sort of a recognition that you are from a very prestigious college. So you are the future ambassadors, you are the future alumni of this institution. wherever you are, whatever profession you choose, whether you are going to academics or into research or into industry or into administration, see that you bring laurels to the college, be a good alumni, don't cut off your umbilical cord, always have the link with your parent institutions, come back to the college whenever there is an opportunity and serve the college, and by then you will also be serving not only the college but also the community at large. I wish you all a bright future. Thanks for the entire organizing team for inviting me here today. It's my proud privilege to be here, and good luck to each one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we invite Dr. M. J. N. Chandrasekhar, Professor and Head, School of Life Sciences, JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, Ooty, the Nilgiris, to share his insights. Please, sir.
Good morning. At the outset, my pranams to His Holiness Jagat Guru Sri Shivratri Jaskendra Mahaswamiji. Respected Chinnaswamy sir, who has been a pillar of strength for the pharmacy education in India for probably 50 years or so. Now we are fortunate to have him here because he hardly comes to Ooty nowadays. Now, so again, Dhanpal has insisted that he should come here. He was just telling me. So with all his difficulties, he has come to Ooty. He has come. Sir, we'll have to. Thanks for coming to Ooty, blessing our faculty and our students here. So, Professor Sachinandan, the Executive Director, Siddhaganga Medical College, Karnataka, and Dr. Govind Ajmera, again the Chief Operating Officer of the Apple Hospitals, my friend, a colleague, and the Principal of Pharmacy College, whom we have been interacting for the past 30 and odd years, Dr. S.P. Dhanpal, and my colleagues again, I'm not an outsider. All the faculty who are here are my colleagues. I'm on a deputation for the students' sake. I'm on a deputation to the School of Life Sciences. I'm still a part of JSS College of Pharmacy here. And dear students, I'm neither a doctor like Dr. Sachinandan, who gave a really good talk on the profession of pharmacy, or with when Dr. Govind, who is a pharmacist, and who would be talking about the health. I'm able to get the think health and think pharmacy. I'm just a biochemist. Probably I can interact between a pharmacy and a doctor. My agenda here is not to talk about the profession or not to talk about the future. I'm just here to talk about you are being a very amazing students. I just saw your the teaser here. It was wonderful. I just wanted to have a small comment, as again Dr. Sachinandan was telling. It was more like watching the Avatar and other things. But I was just wondering, there was one small little thing which was, I'm not here to talk about anything else, there was one tagline, could this make the end of the earth or something like that? I read it. I don't know why that tagline had come into this picture, because, we are talking about health. Probably if we had talked something else, it would have been better. But then again, you are fortunate to be at JSS College of Pharmacy. I've seen close to 30 and odd batches of students who are coming out of come out of pharmacy college. They have been doing extremely great, wonderful, and you being a part of JSS College of Pharmacy, I would say that it is not, we are ranked 4th, but I would say that we are ranked not on 4th, we are the top of this ranking in India. The idea of this pharmacy week being celebrate it for 1 week is to harness your thinking, harness your leadership qualities, rather than, just come, dance, and go. The idea is to make you a leaders for the future. So that was the idea. Dr. Suresh, our Pro-Chancellor at that time, he said we will have 1 full week. Again, if I have to tell you, our pharmacy college at Mysore was having half a day. Or probably for up to then it came for 1 day, 2 days. Now they are replicating what we are doing it. So the idea of having a 1 full week of pharmacy week is to make sure that, you kind of interact with other students, have a leadership qualities, develop leadership qualities, and I urge all the students not to be as mere spectators. You have different sets of students, who participate, all the students participate. There are some students go about commenting about the students. Again, this happens. And there are some students who are very docile, they just sit, go, and they don't do anything. But I urge all the students to participate in any event, So that brings in leadership idea. So these are all the things which you'll have to look into it. So I'm not here to, take a long time. All the very best. Do well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving forward, we are privileged to have Professor K. Chinnaswamy, President, Indian Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, Chennai, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning, everybody. God bless you all. It's my pleasant pleasure of the day to be with you all this morning on this Pharmacy Week celebrations, especially my beloved students of pharmacy of JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty. It's a pleasure of mine to be with you all this morning, just because I am one of the teachers from Madras Medical College who have been associated with this institution for the last, from the day of institution from 1980 till this date. It's a pleasure of mine to be with you all last almost 45 years I have been with you. I am one among you after retirement at 2000 from Madras Medical College. I am an honorary emeritus professor of this institution till date. It's a pleasure of mine. All of you are my beloved children, rather grandchildren I used to say. It's a pleasure to be any grand old man to be with their grandchildren. So I am the happiest person to be with you all this morning. It's a pleasure of mine. And now today, I am so happy. Your beloved collector, Madam, has given you good suggestions and also good blessings for both the students as well as the institution and your principal. So this shows that your involvement in the society and also in the education, in the academia, in the research, and in the development by becoming number 2 institutions all over India. That is a great achievement by your principal and your beloved Pro-Chancellor Dr. B. Suresh. All this credit goes to these 2 people who have done the human job, and more than this, your faculty is responsible for all these things. Please remember the respect the faculty. Please remember respect your classmates. Please remember respect your profession of pharmacy. These are all the main 3 codes of discipline, dedication, and devotion This is the thing, main thing for your future, which will be the main foundation from JSS institution, especially from Ooty, which has been navigated by Dr. B. Suresh, the Pro-Chancellor of JSS Universities. And this is a pleasure of mine to be with you all. Here, I have to say one step further. Our beloved former Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University, Dr. Sachidananda, I am really proud when he spoke for so much of time about the pharmacy profession. Now I understand that, see, how much as a Vice Chancellor, he was involved in the pharmacy profession for 3 years, and he found about our people as a medical professional, because I have been associated with medical college for last 40 years in Madras Medical College. But still, Dr. Sachidananda has devoted his time when he was a Vice Chancellor to all our pharmacy institutions, leading institutions in Karnataka, and found what are their PharmD, what are their M-Pharma, what are their B-Pharma, how this institution functions. I am really proud, sir, about you, but you have been taken so much of interest, because I am involved in the beginning of Rajiv Gandhi University when Dr. Gurumurthy, when he came to Madras to find out what MGR Medical University is doing, Dr. Gurumurthy and Dr. Nanjappa, both of them, I was a syndicate member at that time in Madras MGR Medical University. So I took them, both of them, because Nanjappa is a pharmacologist, I was also pharmacology cum pharmacy. So therefore Nanjappa and we are very close friends in those days. So he brought Gurumurthy as a special officer. So I took them to university. For 2 days they studied our MGR University, rules and regulations, syllabus, act, and other process of maintenance and other things. Then the Rajiv Gandhi was started. Then first Madam became the Vice Chancellor, who was former student of Madras Medical College. So, Kanta was there. She was there as the first Vice Chancellor. I was also associated with Rajiv Gandhi University till Madam Kanta, who was a student of Madras Medical College. So she took me there mainly for Board of Pharmacy and other things. I was also associated with Rajiv Gandhi. So I am so much associated with and when doctor was talking about our clinical pharmacy, our professional pharmacy, our industrial pharmacy, and so many things, I am really astonished. A doctor was, as a Vice Chancellor, has taken so much interest. My best wishes and congratulations, sir. And you have joined Executive Director of Siddhaganga Medical College. I know from the day one of Siddhaganga Medical, first Vice Chancellor, Dean of Siddhaganga Medical College, was a retired anatomy professor from Madras Medical College. So we were close friends in those days. I know how much he toiled for 3 years to get that institution approval, and then it was a great institution in Siddhaganga. It was so nice, and now and his part will be the major role for the development of Siddhaganga Medical College, sir. I am very happy to be with you this morning, and now our Chandrasekhar, who was our colleague in JSS, has taken the lead in the Institute of Allied Sciences, and he is doing a very good job. I am very happy, and he has discussed so many things about our JSS and other professions. Thank you very much for coming. And as a president, I would like to say a few words to you all. See, today what is pharmacy? What is the theme? The think health, think pharmacy. So when you think health, always we get the doctor. Then along with the doctor, we go into the pharmacy. So when you think health, it is a doctor and the pharmacist or the apothecaries. From apothecary, we became two divisions. One as a doctor, another as a pharmacist or drug or therapy, whatever. That's why pharmacology book is called therapeutic book also, pharmacology and therapeutics. This is how it was started. Then it has come into the field of pharmacy. And finally, everybody has found all over the world the pharmacy is one of the main major professions. And especially India is going ahead. I was so happy to learn, he said, our India is third in the world. Not only that, and also 14 in financial level. I was so happy to hear that. So all of you should know what others now learned about us. That is the prestige of pharmacists. That is the prestige of pharmacists, Indian pharmacists. Today, we are in the top level of WHO as well as world pharmacy is concerned. If you see FIP, there are number of 160 countries are members of FIP, but among them, 2 members are from India. One is Indian Pharmaceutical Association, another is Indian Association of College of Pharmacy. These 2 associations are there in that 160. So much FIP world is concerned. And similarly, PAPA and whatever world association is there, our pharmacists, Indian pharmacists also takes a lead, and we conduct so much process and everything, and we are leading all everything. But only thing, still our research is under development. Still under research, especially with the support of all alternate medicines, we are all becoming great. And soon, not only pharmacy, not only nutraceuticals, not only herbal drugs, all these things we must give our devotion to all those things, and properly all these things are utilized. Even Government of India, Dr. Modi, is very much interested in all this, and always whenever number of times on Saturday speech and all, number of times he has mentioned about pharmacists. And so that's why he has started the pharmacy house also, cheap pharmacy for the people all over India. Similarly, our Tamil Nadu government also has given 1,000 licenses for the pharmacy graduates, so that though apply for the license, they want to serve the people of Tamil Nadu. So this is how our development, our chances of the future is going on. So we Indian pharmacists, we pharmacists from JSS, we are all standing in the top level of pharmacy profession in India and in the world. So I don't want to take much of your time. I can talk to you for so much time, but I want to complete it as early as possible. So you have to enjoy, you have to do further development, further thinking. Anyhow, I'll be also with you on valedictory. That day, I will talk to you little more. God bless you all. Jai Sri Ram. Good day and good week. Jai Sri Ram. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude. With this, let's begin the awards and prize distribution ceremony. Now, I hand the podium to Dr. Babu.
With the blessings of His Holiness Swamiji, wishing all a wonderful day to the dignitaries on the dais and my fellow faculty members in the auditorium. It gives me a great pleasure in announcing the Tamil Nadu Pharmaceutical Science Welfare Trust of G. Rangacharya Memorial PG Pharmacy Fellowship Award 24-25, which has been provided or honoring our fellow pharmacists in the field of pharmacy for their great research. The Tamil Nadu Pharmacy Science Welfare Trust supports our fellow pharmacists with a small financial amount to carry out their research. It takes me a great pleasure in announcing the winners for the year 24-25, and I kindly request our guest of honor of today's function, Dr. S. Sachidanandan, Executive Director, Siddhalinga Medical College of Research Institute, Tumkur, Karnataka, to kindly do the honors for the winners. So please, sir. I call upon Miss Aisha B. from the Department of Pharmaceutics, who has bagged the second rank in the C. Rangacharya Memorial PG Pharmacy Fellowship Award 24-25. Mr. Pranav Prabhu from the Department of Pharmaceutics with the third prize, with the financial assistance of 8,000 rupees. Miss D. Melfia, from the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, where she has bagged the first prize with a financial assistance of 12,000. Mr. Sagarkantha Mohanty from the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry with third prize with a financial assistance of 8,000 rupees. I request the audience to kindly give the great round of applause to these winners. Mr. Rahul LRV from the Department of Pharmacology with a cash prize of 12,000 rupees. Miss Deva Daruna from the Department of Pharmacology for winning the second prize with a financial assistance of 10,000 rupees. Miss Rashi Jain from the Department of Pharmacology with third prize with a financial assistance of 8,000 rupees. Thank you, sir. And at this juncture, I would like to thank the president of the today's function, Professor K. Chinnaswamy, sir. I think we all need to give a lot of applause to our presidential for the today's function, because I think it is our presidential K. Chinnaswamy sir who actually introduced this Rangacharya Fellowship Award to support our fellow pharmacists in their field of research. So please give them a great of applause to our president. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Now, I would like to welcome upon two special guests to join us on stage. Please join me in welcoming Humpty and Dumpty.
오빤 강남 스타일 강남 스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 나는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해 그런 선호해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까 오빤 강남 스타일 강남 스타일 오빤 강남 스타일 강남 스타일 오빤 강남 스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 오빤 강남 스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 노출보다 야한 여자 그런 감각적인 여자 나는 선어해 점잖아 보이지만 놀 땐 노는 선어해 내가 되면 완전 미쳐버리는 선어해 근육보다 사상이 울퉁불퉁한 선어해 그런 선어해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 오빤 강남스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 B는 norm 그 위에 나는 norm baby baby 나는
And now we come to the highlight of today's event, the keynote address by one of our extinguished alumni, Dr. Govinda Ajmera, Chief Operating Officer and CEO, Apple Hospital, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. I request Dr. Babu to introduce the speaker to the audience.
Yes, once again, a warm welcome to all of you, and it's my pleasure to introduce the
तांबडी चांबडी ही चमकते उन्हातनं लाका 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 तांबडी चांबडी ही चमकते उन्हातनं लाका 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 तांबडी चांबडी ही चमकते उन्हातनं लाका 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 तांबडी चांबडी ही चमकते उन्हातनं लाका 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 तांबडी चांबडी ही चमकते उन्हातनं लाका लाका खादीचा पांढरा शर्ट खाकी पॅन्ट टाकून मी कडक चेहऱ्यावर तेजपणे चकाचक आवाजात वजनी बोलण्यात ते नासाकात म्हणून तर ऐकणारे नाव घेतात हक्कानं जे तुला डाग दिसतात अंगावर माखलेलो मातीच्या रंगात जे पण काही दिलेले देवानं मिरवतोय हक्कानं क्लब मध्ये क्रिटिक्स तर मराठी वाचणारच हमखास आपल्या कामात नाही कधी काय शंका क्राऊड मध्ये दंगावर साक्षीला जनता जिकडे जाशील तिकडे आपलाच डंका
It gives me an immense pleasure in introducing today's speaker, Dr. Govind Ajmera, the Chief Operating Officer and CEO of the Apple Hospital, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Govind Ajmera, who holds the PharmD degree, Doctor of Pharmacy from JSS University, Mysuru, along with his part internship from Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, Canada. He is also acknowledged with leadership program in operational excellence from SP Jain of Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai. He is a visionary who ensures the viability of multidisciplinary outcomes long-term. He believes in providing healthy, productive, and lasting results. With a vast exposure and experience in healthcare for more than 12 years, his core in clinical pharmacy services includes in providing consultations on various aspects like drug dilutions, compatibility, drug interactions, adverse drug reactions, intravenous to oral therapy, de-escalation of antibiotics, renal dose adjustments, dose and rate calculations, medication errors, prescription audits and rectification, drug-related problems and solutions, patient safety, etc. Apart from management, his vast portfolio includes handling of complete supply chain and pharmacy services throughout purchase, accounts, daily operations, staff management, managerial decisions, vendor evaluations and selection, financial planning and implementation, stock audits and verification, pharmaceutical negotiations and revenue escalations. He has been a key member of HIC, that is Hospital Infection Control Committee, for analyzing the antimicrobial usage through antimicrobial stewardship and formulation of antibiotic policy. He is also the internal NABH auditor and monitor for clinical audits, convener for Pharmacy and Therapeutics Committee, controller of NDPS drugs throughout hospital, and he has been member of Ethics Committee. He had been training for crucial drug-related aspects to other healthcare professions such as medical, doctor, nurses, and the fellow pharmacist. In NABH, management of medications, biosafety cabinet on oncology, etc. He's been chief guest and orator on various occasions and online forums. He has also always been fascinated towards optimizing patient care, believes in teamwork, and has also been rewarded with awards like the Certificate of Honor in COVID times and the Game Changer Award for his service to the mankind and society. With this brief introduction, I request our keynote speaker for today's event, Dr. Govind Raj Ajmera, to take the dais. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, sir, for this introduction. First, it's a privilege to be here after 12 years, I guess. I'm 2012 pass out, and I'm really thrilled to meet all my teachers, and whatever I am today is because of their blessings. And I really, it's a very good privilege to be here. I think down the line when you guys will come as alumni, you will feel it more. So, good morning all, and thank you for such a insightful introduction about the program, what you're going to have for the next week. And I thank all the dignitaries as well for giving some profound knowledge about what is going on actually in the society and how we have to go about it. So today I'm going to talk about the theme which FIP has given us for this year, that is Think Health and Think Pharmacy. And the point is that Think Health, Think Pharmacy it's a global phenomena which is going on with different countries, and it has been for some time now. There are many countries which are doing good in this field, and I would like to discuss this, but what I'll do is I'll go slide by slide. There will be lot of insightful data, there will be a lot of insightful things what we can do. Moreover, I would like this not to be a lecture, rather I would really appreciate that everyone be involved in this, and let's make a healthy discussion out of it. If you have any doubts, if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me while I'm presenting. There's no such thing that you can ask later on, because I just want this to be a good discussion among us. The point of me coming here, when I was, traveling down, and I was thinking, what should I talk about? Because most of the things you read in books is actually happening. And when I was out in field, we were very naive. We were very new to the community of healthcare. But coming down here, what I felt was that you need to know what is actually going on there on ground, right? I started my journey as a clinical pharmacist, and in one of the best hospitals in our city. And then I moved on and on and on, and today I'm heading a hospital. I'm looking after the management of a hospital. It's a multi-speciality 200-bedded hospital. It's a corporate setting, and we have all the super specialities there. We have more than 35 consultants, senior doctors who are working for me, and we have more than 300 of staff in our hospital. So the point is that there is no limitation of what we can do, because our education is quite multidisciplinary. Don't think of it as manufacturing of drugs, or maybe dispensing of drugs, or maybe monitoring of drugs. There's a lot more to it. I mean, pharmacy is one of those education where you read about jurisprudence, where you read about management, where you read about human anatomy, where you read about therapeutics, where you read about chemistry. So you have all-in-one kind of phenomena, which I feel now, because the management part of, in our time when I was doing B.Pharm, there was a subject called management, I think second or third year. And I still remember that, because I am doing management right now. So make sure that there is a wide scope, and you don't have to restrict yourself to some place. And a pharmacist can head a hospital, so I think there are more possibilities to it. And believe me, my colleagues, a few of them are abroad, few of them are here in India itself. All of them are really doing good. They are doing good to the society. They are doing good for themselves. And I think every one of you can do it. So just let's start with the topic now, and as and when you have questions, please feel free to ask me, right? Everybody's on it? Should I start? There's no enthusiasm, it seems. Yeah, okay, fine. So can we have the next slide, please? So last year, I guess, the theme was Pharmacist, Your Medicine Experts. This year, the theme is Think Health and Think Pharmacy. Professional, available, trusted. This is what FIP has given the logo. Can you have the next slide, please? So, no, just go back. The question is, whom are we addressing this? Is it the, is it the common public, the society we are addressing, that, whenever you think about health, think about us? Or is there a limitation to it? Actually, the point is, we are addressing this to the whole globe as such. That includes, hello? Hello? Yeah. So the point is that we are addressing this topic not only to the community out there. We are addressing this to the healthcare system as well. And I'll tell you why. Today morning only, Dr. Sachidanand and we were having a brief discussion over breakfast, and what I was trying to convince and tell him that the complexity of drugs and the complexity of healthcare system is growing day by day. You have new biomedical equipments in place. You have new robotic things coming up, AI things coming up. Recently, we purchased an AI navigation robot, which is used for knee replacement surgery, right? And then there are new drugs. We are inventing extreme lot of drugs, and we are doing too much of research on it. And if you see a pharmacy in community, or for that matter in a hospital, there are, if we talk about hospital formally, if it's a multi-speciality hospital, there are more than 2,000-3,000 brands of different drugs. And the dosage forms are coming in a different way. So the point is that a doctor is quite busy with his patients. In India, we have the best doctors. I'll tell you, I've been to many countries. I have contacted many doctors there. Our medical doctors are looking after 50 to 60 patients in OPD, in a private setting, along with the IPD admissions, along with the procedures. So they are burdened, and we know that, and they are doing great. Nursing has always been the backbone of our society of healthcare, and our nursing is doing excellent even abroad, right? Now comes the point of understanding the bridge between the doctor and the nursing and the patient. That is where we stand. The point of Think Health and Think Pharmacy is also for the healthcare professionals to believe that we are there for them, we are available, we'll be there when they have a lot of pressure going on. And this has been proved multiple times. Even in my 12 years of my personal experience, I'll tell you, it's not easy to come to a position where I am right now. It's not praising myself, but it is making sure that you're available all the time with the knowledge of what we are learning in this institute today. I'll tell you, I also topped in 4th year, 5th year, but the point is, I have never studied just a day before of the exam. Many of my friends were, opening the books and mugging up things like that. The only reason for that was I was 100% attentive in my classes. And that is the blessing I have received from my teachers, which I want everyone to acknowledge that, if you're attentive in that class, if you give 100% of yourself in that class, you won't need to, open the books and start mugging up things. Because pharmacy is getting complex day by day. The education is getting tougher. We have subjects like clinical pharmacokinetics and pharmacotherapeutics. They're quite tough and they require a lot of time. But if you are attentive on rounds and in your classroom, then you will excel good. So if you have a good knowledge and if you're available in the healthcare system, believe me, people start to understand. Initially, I got a lot of resistance because they did not actually understand what I do. But down the line, after 6 months and 1 year, people started acknowledging it. A lot of doctors, they started keeping things on me that, these are the drugs which I think should be given. They used to come for rounds, they used to tell their duty doctors that ask Govinda to just review them and see if all the doses are correct, and if there's any, any kind of discrepancy found or any questions, he can talk to me, we can modify the treatment. So that took some time. It took more than 1 year for me to make sure that they have confidence on me, because nobody wants their patient to degrade. Every doctor is doing good just to make sure that their patients are okay. And if they build trust on you, and if they make sure that you are trusted and you're giving some decision potential, I think that is your achievement. So this Think Health and Think Pharmacy is for not only for the community. We are doing a lot of things for community. We are doing campaigns, we are doing health awarenesses, and multiple counseling sessions and all those things. But this is also for the healthcare society to understand that we are there for them, right? Next. So in a nutshell, if we talk about what is pharmacy education, keep going please. So it's a noble, qualified and justified profession. This is my version of pharmacy. And it's a silent contribution to society. I don't think there is any doubt in it. And next please. So what FIP says is what is going on, what pharmacists are doing across the globe. They are doing logistics, medicine supply and advice. Then is medication review, that is therapeutic review. Then long-term conditions, they are monitoring patients for long-term conditions. Blood pressure management, blood glucose, cholesterol, all the chronic ailments. Then disease prevention and health promotion. Yes, they're doing it. This is published data by FIP, what is going on around the globe, right? Then they test and treat different ailments. Many countries have given privileges to pharmacists that they can prescribe medicines. And that is not just because they don't have any other alternatives. It is because the pharmacists have developed that confidence in the central governments that they are good enough in terms of knowledge that they can do it. We don't need to urge people to, we should not be very keen on prescribing medicines. We should be keen on monitoring them, making sure whatever is prescribed is accurate. So that mentality has to go, that, if I am PharmD, I should prescribe medicines. It should not be like that. Believe me, you'll get the time once you achieve that potential, once you achieve that confidence, right? Vaccinations, we'll talk about this later. Mental health, many pharmacists are working out with psychiatrists to make sure, in India, that psychiatry is not a big issue. But when you go to modern world, psychiatry is one of the leading causes of ailments across all the diseases. They don't have diabetes much, but they have a lot of psychiatric patients. and pharmacists are doing great in making sure the tapering of dose, the drug abuse counseling, and how do they monitor patients who are taking drugs and things like that. Then medication adherence, yes, we want patients to take medicines on time, right? Smoking cessation programs, for that matter, drug abuse programs as well. Prescribing, as I told, many countries have directed pharmacists to be the primary healthcare provider. Then directly observe tuberculosis treatment. Even in India, Nikshay program is going on from central government, making sure that we have to make sure our country is free from TB. Then reproductive health, contraceptives and things like that. And then opioid substitution and needle exchange. This is happening a lot in developed countries, I'll tell you. Even WHO has one needle, one syringe kind of thing going on around the globe, whereby only one use for one needle is allowed. But people who are abusing drugs, they tend to get more infected, like with all the transmissible diseases like HIV and hepatitis and typhoid and whatnot. So pharmacists are doing all this to make sure that they don't use such kind of things, right? So this is what FIP is saying. Next, please. Now, what I think is, so what are the roles? So we are expert in drug knowledge. There's no doubt about it. We do a lot of R&D. We do a lot of research, and we make sure the drugs are good. And in some coming slides, I'll let you know what is expected of you. If we talk about if you're expert in drug knowledge, what all things you should know, right? Your prescription monitor and dispenser, true. I don't think there is any doubt about it. It's not related to PharmD. As a pharmacist, you should be able to monitor or dispense medicines, whatever field you're into, whether you're into industrial pharmacy, whether you're into community pharmacy, whether you're into hospital pharmacy or clinical pharmacy, and XYZ. So yes, your prescription monitor and dispenser, your patient counselor, this is very important. I'll discuss an example of how counseling is important in the next coming slides. You're a clinician, yes, any healthcare professional who is monitoring patient bedside is a clinician, right? Effective outcome reviewer, there are subjective outcomes and there are objective outcomes, but you make sure that the desired effect of the drug is achieved by the patient. So that becomes, you're becoming an effect and outcome reviewer, which is part of a clinical pharmacy. Administrator, yes, you are administrator of the pharmacy, and when you progress in life, you want to be in the system, you're an administrator of a pharmaceutical industry. I think most of the pharmaceutical industries, Indian origin, Cipla and Sun Pharma and things like that, they all have top executives as pharmacists because they somehow got into that company in their initial phase of life, and now they are administrators of that company. They're making sure the company is doing good. We are the largest, one of the largest, I think second largest exporter of all the medicines throughout the globe. Most of them are used in tons and tons, especially steroids. So we are the biggest manufacturer of steroids, right? So you're a good administrator, you're an educator, yes. And I think this college has best educators in the world, and I'm blessed again to have such good teachers with me. And you're a scientist and researcher, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of R&D going on. I just saw so many students getting grants for scholarship or for some or the other reason. That is great. But scientific research itself is a big topic of discussion, and what is the need of the hour in our country right now has to be rethink in a way that what is going on in the market right now. But I'll talk about it again. You're a businessman, there's no problem in that. Pharmacy is a business, there's no doubt in it. We make sure that the logistics are clear, the drug is purchased in a way that it contributes to the overall development of the economies of the country. We are the most supporting we are the most supporting industry within our country, and there's a lot of silent contribution to the central government in a way of GST and revenue escalations and revenue generation and things like that, and we create a lot of job with it. And even I'm a businessman now, so we are making sure the healthcare system of this country, or the patients we are serving, the community we are serving, gets best and the best of the treatment possible. People don't have to go abroad anymore. We get all the complex surgeries done at our unit. It is kind of a business, but at the same time, we are making sure that it does not cross the limits of humanity. And most importantly, nowadays, the insurances are key factors in making so. So I think pharmacy is a business, and you should all contribute towards the development of the society and the government regulation, things like that, right? Pharmaceutical jurisprudence expert and lawmaker. Let's talk about narcotics. So when we talk about narcotics, there are so strict regulations in India that drug abuse of narcotics is almost impossible. And that is a great achievement for a country with such a huge population. You won't believe the potential of drug abuse, what Western countries have to face, despite having all the things in place, despite having different agencies. But this is really appreciable that our country is one of the few countries who have reduced drug abuse to a maximum extent. I'll tell you one example, a very wonderful drug called fentanyl. It is used for sedation, intra-op, anesthesia, critical care, ventilated patients requiring fentanyl to, just to be sedated. It's a wonderful drug to wean off. There are less side effects, and it is very versatile to use. I mean, the dose range is quite big, and usually you do not see respiratory failure or patient getting, into coma with the overdose. For a single, I think everyone knows this. Do you know this? For a single use of 1 ampule of narcotic or fentanyl, what is the procedure? Can anyone tell me? What is Form 3E? What is Form 3F? Okay. For single use of fentanyl injection, first thing is the hospital has to have Form 3H, that is the license for narcotics purchase. And then when an anesthetist prescribes it, there is a defined format by the government on which the anesthetist or the ICU doctor or the intensivist has to prescribe that drug. That is also in triplicate. 1 copy goes in the store or pharmacy from where the fentanyl is issued. The other goes in patient's file. And the third one is with the matron, just for the record. And then only 1 ampule of narcotics is being issued to that particular patient for which the prescription was prescribed. The regulation of narcotics, for that matter, and the other drugs is excellent in our country. And all those people who are making that regulation are mostly from pharmacy background. So when it comes to roles and responsibility of pharmacists, I think there is a wide scope, and there is no need to worry about future, what will happen, and if we don't if we don't open a community pharmacy, or if we don't get a job in industry, or pharmacovigilance, or clinical pharmacy and things like that. There's a lot of things you can do, and I think that is what the role of pharmacy is in our setting. Can we have the next one? So, major international organizations like United Nations, International Labour Organization, World Health Organization, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, all across the globe are now recognizing pharmacists as the key or primary healthcare provider. Right? This is also published data from FIP. Next. These are a few examples what FIP is quoting, that the Americas and the Africa and different continents across the globe, they are all appreciating the way that we need to put forward the main role to the pharmacist because of the disease burden and things like that. So this is America, this is Africa. Next, please. Europe is doing it, Middle East. Middle East is doing really good. I've been recently to Middle East, and the way they are doing it, even the East Asia. I think in East Asia, what I found was that every third shop was a pharmacy. And I didn't actually realize why it was that. So the maximum number of healthcare things, what I saw in East Asia or Southeast Asia was pharmacies. Second were dentists. And then was the ancillary things, all the hospitals and primary health centers and things like that. And all of the pharmacies are doing good. So the reason what I found was that people trust pharmacists. For every now and then, they don't need to visit doctor, but then that trust has to be on a very brink of condition that you don't prescribe those things which are not required, or don't do that if you know that there is a suspicion of drug abuse or misuse, things like that, right? So Southeast Asia, then Western Pacific, they are saying that we have so much of load on our GPs, the general practitioners there, that we need to divert people We need to make sure that those who pharmacists can see, they should screen them off, and then what is complex should be forwarded to their general practitioners, right? Next. So good health and well-being for all, this is what FIP is telling us. And it is very crystal clear that you support this campaign, make awareness. Awareness is not only made through, making campaigns and doing things like that. Every one of you in your home or in your relatives, you might have people who are taking medications. Just monitor them randomly. It doesn't make any sense because they're already, they will think that we are already meeting up with the doctor again and again, and we are refilling our prescriptions and we are taking the medication. Just monitor randomly. I'll tell you what Dr. Satyanandan sir has told. You'll find so much of drug interactions, overdose, missed dose, subtherapeutic dose, compatibility issues, the timings of medications are not correct. I have seen patients taking diuretics at night. I have seen patients taking alprazolam in morning. I have seen patients taking pantoprazole after lunch. And this happens everywhere. Just start random audits of your own relatives. You'll find so much of things going on around that these are not the drugs which were meant for this condition, or maybe the way the patient is taking them. So this particular theme starts within your household itself, right? So if you're active, you can definitely move on with this. Next, please. So I'll just want to talk about this particular thing because I was there, and because we were in one of the best hospitals in our city, everyone wanted to come in, everyone wants bed, and we were out of beds, we were out of staff. The crisis was enormous. I don't know how many of you actually have been in COVID times on ground. I never took a single holiday in COVID, not even one. I was there 24/7. I was there even when many of our frontline workers quit to work. And it was a scenario where everybody was afraid. I was afraid. The doctors were afraid. The nurses were very much afraid. Most of them left for their hometown. There was no support staff. In a hospital, you have plenty of departments going on, maintenance and HR and biomedical and stores and pharmacy and medical team and reception staff and XYZ. 50% of them left. There were few of us left. Everybody wanted a bed in our hospital. We were out of beds. We had to remove patients who had other comorbid conditions apart from COVID. We had to postpone elective surgeries. We only accepted traumatic surgeries, RTAs. But I'll tell you what happened. COVID started in India in March end 2020, and the first wave was then, and the second wave came next year in 21. Second wave was more horrific. What happened was, initially when we were few of the team left, and mostly young doctors, because old age doctors and senior doctors, they were quite suspicious because they had some comorbidities like diabetes and other problems going on, and they didn't want themselves to get exposure because initially the reports of COVID said that, any person who's having comorbidities is going to die. And there was so much of misinformation because nobody was prepared. It was not written in any of the medical books. There was no literatures on COVID. There was no diagnostic criteria. There was no treatment guidelines. Neither protocols were there in place. Neither about the stay, how you have to approach a patient. Nothing was there. So, we were tired because of the number of patients, and we did not know what to do. There was nothing apart from 3-ply mask that was present in all the hospitals that time. And somehow we were discussing, and the conclusion what our team made was that this is a droplet infection. It is going to be pneumonia. There's nothing to be worried if you get droplets on your skin. It's not going to be a dermal transmission. And we thought that there is no other route seen. It's not going to be a UTI. It's not going to be a bloodstream infection unless it goes through the lungs. So we came to a conclusion that this is definitely a droplet transmissible infection with a good R naught. Now, R naught is the quantification of the disease to transmit. So usually the common flu has R naught of less than 1. This was reported with an R naught of more than 2. So quantification of transmission was high, and this was primarily a respiratory illness. This was defined till 20th March because COVID started in China long back and we had some data on it. Can you just move to the next slide? So my point is that COVID showed what we can do. Next, please. The bottom line is we work for drugs, but none of the drugs worked. The drugs were the biggest culprit in COVID, I'll tell you. Nothing worked, but we were out of options. There was nothing to be given to the patients. And believe me, in second wave, patients used to come with remdesivir in their pocket and, a tablet of Limsi and oxygenator, and they just wanted a bed. And the condition got worse. We didn't have any beds. What we had to do finally was remove the parking, like all the cars from the parking. We called the maintenance team, told them to give a socket line here, a high tension and supporting line here. And we got some beds from some charity. We arranged those beds in the parking lot. And patients were only satisfied psychologically that they were in the hospital with their oxygenators, their injections, and their tablets. Because the logistics was lost. None of the logistic chain worked properly because of the demand. And being, in the central India, maybe the supply was little more conservative as compared to what we have seen in the capital regions. But the condition was horrific. And what we did was, next please. This is 25th March, 10:31 a.m. I was sitting in pharmacy and we were so I was completely gone. My mind was not working and the scene was very terrifying. So when we had discussion around 9 a.m. in the morning, I was just sitting down in pharmacy and all the staff was even looking at me because they wanted some answers what they should do. And somehow I saw file folder kept in front of me, right? Pharmacy has a lot of files going on and accounts and things like that. I thought that there's nothing working, just try for some option. I called the maintenance guys. I asked them if they have a piece of sponge. So they told we have a piece of foam. I told them, okay, you bring it in pharmacy. And we had around 80 tourniquets with us, right? Tourniquets, the thing we take the blood pressure with. So what we did was, I took out that file, I cut it down, and then we had a tourniquet around the foam, and then we used the sellotapes to put it. And 25th March, we made this. I'll tell you, the commercial helmets or screens like these started to be available in the community or in a healthcare setting in April last or May starting, right? So make sure to innovate. You don't have to stop anywhere. I got call from each and every doctor and nursing staff that they want this immediately. It gave hope to people that, the droplets won't come near them. Because there was nothing, only 3-ply mask. And so much of terror going on about COVID and what will happen if we'll die and the earth is going to end. One of your presentation showed, earth is going to end. So that was the scene then. Next, please. So my point is that you have to keep innovating. You have to keep upgrading yourself. Don't let people know what you do. You have to show people what you can do. Only then they can build trust on you, right? This is 25th September, the pharmacist day. This is my whole team. We all were present because I was present. Remember this, if as a leader you're not there on ground, don't expect your staff to be there. Because they are more scared than you are. And you are the only hope what they have at those crises, right? So we celebrated World Pharmacy Day and, while the COVID time was going on, I had the opportunity from SP Jain College to have a leadership program in operational excellence. So I kept upgrading myself, we kept working, and to my surprise, I'll tell you, till date, I never had COVID. I got my titers done. I was there on ground. I was there for 3 years. All 3 waves I was there. Then came mucormycosis because of excessive use of steroids. AVN, still people have avascular necrosis, right? They have to get their hip replaced. But I was there and I never had COVID. And the only reason was hand hygiene. All this points out to only one thing. You have to keep updating yourself. 7 steps of hand hygiene is the key player in preventing any infection in the world. It has become my habit now that every now and then I'll use sanitizer and do the 7 steps of hand washing, hand hygiene. Whenever even at home, when I reach there, I wash my hands, first thing to do, and I use 7 steps of hand hygiene. So keep upgrading and innovating yourself. Next, please. And now FIP is saying that, pharmacists have administered more than 50% of COVID vaccines in France. 12.1 million COVID tests were performed in Portuguese by pharmacists. 56 countries now have pharmacy-based vaccination centers. 90% of people living, 90% of people in USA are within 10 kilometers of a community pharmacy. And in rural areas, the FIP is saying that only pharmacists might be the only healthcare provider there. Because the influx of doctors and nurses towards urban areas is more because of the job opportunities and the exposure they have. So that is one thing. And FIP says that, a lot of investment is required when it comes to increasing the potential of pharmacy services throughout globe, right? Next. Now, when we talk about the scope of pharmacy, I've had a lot of interaction with different students in different colleges and things like that. They always complain, that government is not doing anything and there is no scope of pharmacy, and I think I've made a wrong decision. I don't know my future is, and things like that. Now I'll tell you one thing. There is a quality accreditation program in India that is QCI, and they have NABH listed for all the hospitals across India, let it be government, let it be private, let it be corporate. They have to undergo a certification called NABH. Has anybody heard of this, NABH? National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers. So this is a quality accreditation which every hospital has to take, and believe me, everybody's taking because there are financial benefits also. Because if your hospital is NABH accredited, you get good rates in Mediclaim tie-ups when you do tie-ups with different Mediclaims. And you get Aishman, you get different corporate tie-ups in Form 17 and income tax exemption, and there are many things once you get NABH. In NABH, there are 10 chapters. Out of those 10 chapters, 3 main chapters which are of utmost importance for a pharmacist is MOM, HIC, and PRE. MOM stands for Management of Medication, HIC is Hospital Infection Control, and PRE is Patient Rights and Education. Believe me, these are the most important chapters in NABH accreditation because they are directly patient related. Hospital infection, management of medication entails everything from hospital pharmacy, from licensing, from pharmacy and therapeutics committee, from clinical monitoring, from adverse drug reaction reporting, from pharmacovigilance, from medication errors, from rights of medication, from everything. I'll show you some examples after this. HIC is where you have the biggest role. Even in the book of NABH, it is written now that all hospitals should have a clinical pharmacist. And the reason behind this is our caliber and understanding the complexities of drugs and making policy on it, as Dr. Sachinandan sir also mentioned about it. Policy making. When I started my career, what I saw was clean surgeries, not even clean contaminated. Clean surgeries, patient used to be there post-op for 3 or 4 days in the hospital, and they all were on IV antibiotics continuously. And even at the time of discharge, they were given an antibiotic for another 7 days per oral, which was not required because they were clean patients. They were not infected per se. So to start with, what I did was I went to consultants and I started talking to them. I showed them Sanford guidelines. I showed them some HIC protocols. Because I got this opportunity to understand antimicrobial stewardship from Canada. When I was there in Ontario, Dr. B. Suresh sir helped me do my part internship in Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, that is the capital of Canada. And there I learned antimicrobial stewardship. You believe me, we have seen patients with Klebsiella and Pseudomonas XDR resistance with OXA 40 and OXA 54 resistance, walking in community who have never been to the hospital. And this is really bad because we are not left with drugs. We have to treat them with Estrionam, avibactam combinations. We have to give them ceftazidime, avibactam as the first line treatment, which is to be reserved for patients who do not respond to anything else and whose culture positives show OXA 54 resistance. So the condition is getting worse. Even who join community pharmacy in future, make sure not to dispense over-the-counter antibiotics unless otherwise prescribed, or even if you have doubt in that prescription, talk to the concerned doctor. The use of azithromycin and ciprofloxacin and amoxicillin is beyond imagination, which are non-indicated. Just because you might think that, if I don't dispense, the next counter might dispense and he will earn out of it. We have to stop this psychology. Do not dispense medications, especially antibiotics, unless otherwise prescribed or indicated. If you have that knowledge of diagnosis, how to go about it, fine, get some tests done, see the CRP levels, the WBC counts, get the culture done if possible, and then when you justify there is a prominent infection, bacterial going on, choose the right antibiotic. So HIC is one area which requires pharmacist intervention in preparing the antibiogram, the antimicrobial stewardship program, making the policy out of it, and making sure that every doctor follows it. So you have to be very compassionate, you have to be very patient, you have to understand their point, because doctors are not wrong, they just don't want their patient to get any further disease. But to make sure that they gain confidence on this, if they follow your policy, nothing wrong will happen. You have to be patient, right? And patient rights and education is all about patient counseling and understanding of their medications and things like that. NABH is a very good platform which government has given us an opportunity to make sure that you are up to date, you are there in the healthcare system, people appreciate your contribution, and you provide some insights to increasing the proper healthcare outcome within the healthcare system of our hospitals, right? These are few examples. When I joined initially, I got to know that, the nurses are facing a lot of problem. What happens is doctor prescribes medication and the nurses either don't know how to give it or they give it blindly, like just dilute it in the universal solution of normal saline and give it to the patient. So what I thought was, let's make the drug dilutions and calculations easy for them. So these are the most common antibiotics what are prescribed on daily basis in hospital. Then the dose in which the dosage form and the dose available in the market, right? Then what is the compatible solution for that particular antibiotic? For example, meropenem is not compatible with dextrose, right? But I've seen instances whereby people have diluted it because that was the only solvent diluent available at bedside. And then how the rate of administration should be. Clarithromycin. Clarithromycin is not soluble in 100 ml of saline. This is not known to even many doctors because it's not their forte, to be very honest. If you dilute 100 ml, 500 mg of clarithromycin in 100 ml of saline, it will still be turbid and it will cause excessive pain when it is administered to the patient. So these are few examples. What I'm telling you, what I have seen while I started practicing in hospitals, and so I thought, I should make some data out of it and paste it on all the notice boards across the hospital so that nursing and doctors can refer to it. Next, these are all the critical drugs which are used mostly in ICU. So, what is the drug? What is the dose available? What is the compatibility? What is the volume of dilution to be used? And how it has to be given at what rate? So these are all, like for example, amiodarone. So amiodarone has to be given a 300 mg of IV loading and then slow push over 20 minutes followed by D5 compatibility. Then you have to take 44 ml, that is 300 mg plus rest of the D5. And then you have to infuse via infusion pump. So these are the things which you have to do to gain trust of other healthcare professionals, because you have to show them that you can do it. Think Health and Think Pharmacy begins with you showing your knowledge to other people so that they can rely on you, right? So again, this is another example. Next, please. This is vasopressin on ondansetron. Just go back, please. So another point to be noted is that IV metronidazole given 3 to 4 times IV. Sodium content in metronidazole 900 mg per 500 mg pre-filled vial. In one bottle of metronidazole, you will find 900 mg of salt. So we need to make sure that clinicians understand if there is a hypernatremia, it might be because of drug-related event rather than physiological condition of the patient. You have to be crystal clear about your own things you're doing there, right? Next. These are common side effects. You can write it in your local language also. This was displayed at our pharmacy. Next. Now this was made by me in keeping in mind that, at least for most common drug interactions, which are clinically significant when it comes to giving patients, as Dr. Sachidanand sir was saying. This is an XY graph. Wherever you see a red, that means there is a drug interaction. Any physiological changes may not be related to patient's disease per se, but it may be because of the interaction between these two drugs. This is only a chart depicting that there is some interaction. You can find out the interaction and make sure that it is not affecting our patients in some or the other way. You have to increase the dose, you have to increase the duration of treatment between these two drugs, or maybe you have to modify a dose for a particular patient. You have to completely remove because of QTC prolongation and things like that. So this is another drug-drug interaction chart which I made, and the X and Y shows the interactions between different drugs. Next. IV compatibility. Critical drugs, I'll just give 2 examples in this. When you see noradrenaline, this particular drug, it's a life-saving drug which is used in patients who have cardiac arrest, and then it is given for a long time via infusion pump. It is only compatible in dextrose. It has not to be given in normal saline. But in common practice, the compatibility, what I've seen is that they dilute it in normal saline and give it to the patients, which is wrong, because the drug will degrade, the effect will not be pronounced and things like that. So this is another compatibility chart of IV and different drugs. There is Y side, there is central line, there's so many things going on. So next. Now crash cart. Crash cart is a thing which is used in hospital as code blue. Whenever a patient crashes down, immediately the crash cart is rushed in and patients are resuscitated. The life is saved. And these are the common drugs which are used in crash cart. So I made a chart stating that what drugs have to be used for what indication, in what dose, and what dilation, right? This is another example. So in total, it's responsible provision of drug therapy, achieving definitive therapeutic outcomes, and patient's quality of life, right? A pharmacist is supposed to know these things. Go on, please. Pharmacological category, indication and use, dose and dosage form, administration, storage, warning and precautions, pregnancy and lactation, ABCDX category of drug, adverse drug reactions, side effects, interactions of food, interactions of drug, pharmacology and pharmacokinetics. If you have knowledge of drugs on these particular topics, people will listen to you, they will understand that whenever they think about their health, they should think about pharmacy or approaching you. Right? A rotogap, I'll tell you a rotogap incident. There was a repetitive patient in our chest physician's OPD, and somehow I was meant to be there because of some work, and that patient was getting refilled every 20 days for the rotacaps, and even the doctor called me that, just check the quality of medication we are giving, because he's saying that he's not getting pronounced effects, and I can auscultate and see the wheezing, and there are crepitations in his lungs. So I don't know, I've given the maximum dose of Rotacap, but if it is not working, I might have to change the drug. So I told, okay, fine, I'll just look at the quality part of it, right? But then what happened was that patient, somehow I saw that patient and I didn't recognize him as to be very knowledgeable in terms of understanding the leaflet or understanding how the medication has to be taken. So I told that patient that, can you take this medication right now? So he told me, I've just taken 2 hours back before coming to the OPD. So I told, fine, if anything happens after the medication, you can rest here for half an hour in the casualty. I'll make sure that you're monitored. Don't worry, nothing will happen, because I knew nothing will happen. It is just SABA and steroid. So I told him to demonstrate the intake of medication, and he actually took out the inhaler and he puffed that inhaler and he swallowed the capsule, and I understood the problem. So Rotacap is supposed to be crushed first and then inhaled with the inhaler. Now imagine that patient was coming for more than 2 months, and all of us understood that his primary ailment is not COPD or asthma, it might be something. The doctor was planning for a CT scan. And just because we understood that his level of understanding of taking Rotacap is not correct, we asked him to demonstrate, and this is how he took. He swallowed the capsule of Rotacap rather than crushing it into the inhaler and inhaling it. So this is how important patient counseling is. And that is where you play an important role, because the chest physician OPD was full. He didn't have time for lunch. There was a lot of respiratory illness going on that time. It was winter time, I guess. So a lot of flu and swine flu patients and things like that were happening. So this is important for you to understand that whatever medications you have devised, we have manufactured, are taken by the community in the way we want them to take it, rather than just dispensing the medication and giving the bill to the patient and doing our job, right? Antimicrobial stewardship, antibiocram, I've already discussed. Next. So in a nutshell, it's safe and effective use of medication, right medicine to the right patient at the right time. That should be your motto. And that should be the motto of pharmacy world throughout. Next. So when we talk about global health needs, this is what it looks like. There is too much of things going on everywhere, and let it be software related, let it be refilling related, let it be medication reconciliation. That is one very important thing, but again, it's a very vast topic to talk about. So there's a lot of things going on. You have to simplify things. That is your job is, right? Next. Access to medication, promoting disease prevention, supporting public health campaigns, research and development, pharmacovigilance. Pharmacovigilance is not ADR reporting. Let me be very clear. What I usually see is that students coming up to me and saying that, sir, we want to do pharmacovigilance. So I say, okay, that's a very vast field. So what will you do? ADR reporting. Pharmacovigilance is not ADR reporting. Pharmacovigilance is making sure that medications are used in the intended purpose and in a safe way they are pretended to be used to. It's not just ADRs. ADRs will not occur most of the time if you make sure that the medications are used in a safe way. If you prevent medication errors, adverse reactions won't occur. We have seen this. We cannot blame drug for an adverse effect unless otherwise it was given in the right way. If you infuse ciprofloxacin over 20 minutes, and if you say there's a whole rash going on in the body of the patient, it's not his problem, it's not the drug's problem, it is your problem that you have infused over 20 minutes. Histamine burst will take place, rashes will occur. That's a normal phenomenon. But for the same patient, if you give it over 40 minutes or maybe 1 hour, rashes will not appear. So this is not an ADR. It's not the problem of the drug. It is the problem the way it is given. Right? Patient safety. Next. So JCIA, World Health Organization, NPWC, they have given 9 safety points in a hospital setting. Next. Down, 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 down. So out of 9 points, down, down, down. 3 are related to pharmacy, so we at least contribute more than 30% in healthcare setting. Sound alike and look alike medication, control of concentrated electrolyte solution, especially potassium. Assuring medication accuracy as transition in care, that is medication reconciliation, right? So I hope this is a brief of what I can tell you about how to make sure that people understand that when they think about their health, they should think about pharmacy. Next, please. So thank you, and as Arun sir used to say always, best of work rather than best of luck. So I still believe that today. And all the best to you. You are the future of this country and maybe abroad. And you have excellent opportunity to work in this, to study in this amazing institute, which I am very fond of. And all the best to you and best of work to you, right? Thank you all. Thank you.
Check. Thank you, sir, for an insightful session. To conclude this wonderful inauguration ceremony, we invite Dr. K.P. Arun, Vice Principal, JSS College of Pharmacy, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A warm good afternoon to one and all. It's an immense pleasure to stand before you all to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, my humble pranams to His Holiness Jagadguru Sri Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji for his divine blessings, which is the guiding and driving force for all of us, for all activities what we do within this campus. Our sincere thanks and gratitudes to all the officials of JSS Mahavidyapita who are always supportive and encouraging all our activities in terms of their advice, guidance and financial aspects. My sincere thanks goes to all the officers of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, especially our beloved Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Registrar and other officials for their wonderful support. In fact, our Registrar, Dr. B. Manjunatha, has given his consent to be the part of this function. He was invited as one of the guests of honor, but due to unavoidable official commitment, he could not join here. I thank Dr. Manjunatha for having consented to be here, but we understand his inability to be part of this grand occasion. Our sincere thanks, pranams, goes to the Pitama of Pharmacy, none other than Professor K. Chinnaswamy. Sir is not traveling much nowadays due to his age factor, but when you say it is Ooty, he get a special energy and he always want to be with us, not for one day, as he himself mentioned during his address. Sir is going to be with us throughout this week. He is also going to be the president of the valedictory function. That shows how much love and affection he has with this institution particularly. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presence, which makes this occasion a richer one. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence. Our sincere thanks to the district collector for having accepted our invitation and being with us as a chief guest for this function. We know the commitments of a district collector. So in spite of her busy schedule, she has given consent to be the part of this function, and then there were few commitments at the time what we have already got the appointment. So we got the message from the collector's office that she has important meetings with the government officials, especially with the chief minister and other officials at 10:30, which was the time fixed. She doesn't want to miss this function. She might have clearly said the time is not permitting, so sorry, I cannot come. But she doesn't want to miss this function, so she asked us, is it possible to prepone by 9:30 so that she can come and make her presence here? It was in that task we preponed the inaugural function. That shows again how much love and affection and the confidence that the collector madam has on the institution. She has visited our institution on couple of occasions for other official reasons, but this is the first time that she has visited our institution as our own guest. So I take this opportunity to thank Madam Collector for her gracious presence and delivering the chief guest address. My sincere thanks goes to our guest of honor, Dr. Sachidanandan sir. Through his address, it was like hearing from horse's mouth. Being a practitioner, a doctor who has exemplified and expressed the role of clinical pharmacist in the healthcare settings. I think our keynote speaker, Dr. Govinda, has also justified that. Thank you, sir, for being with us today and given such a wonderful address. My sincere thanks goes to our own faculty. That's how sir wants always him to be associated. Dr. M.J.N. Chandrasekhar, my teacher. Thank you, sir, for being here and gracing the occasion. And it's always a proud moment to see our own students come back and take lectures for us. So, Dr. Govinda, as you all know, he is the second batch of Form D post-baccalaureate student. He has joined his post-baccalaureate in 2009 and till 2012 he was with us. I took classes for him, and at this juncture, I don't have any hesitation in saying that I have missed few classes, means I deliberately did not go to few classes thinking about Govinda. I don't have any hesitation because the subject which we were handling was new. Form D was introduced new. I was given clinical pharmacokinetics and therapeutic drug monitoring, which we never studied during our B Form or M Form. So it was altogether a new subject, so I have to prepare everything and go to the class. But my God, you should think the questions which these students raise. You know, if we are not convinced by ourselves that, or we don't have the confidence that, okay, we can face these students if these questions come. Sometimes as teachers, it's better to drop the class, get prepared yourself and then go to the class. And again, I don't have any hesitation in saying that I have done couple of times, especially on few topics, and still there is a dispute which was not sorted out at that time between Dr. Govinda and myself about altered pharmacokinetics of hepatic. I think he still remembers that there was a big debate and discussion going on in the classroom on that particular topic. Why I am mentioning this is, as he rightly mentioned, be attentive in the class. It should not be just like that, coming and sitting and passing time and giving attendance. It's not going to work in that way. That's what he rightly made a mention. Thank you, Dr. Govinda, for having accepted our invitation, and it's always a proud moment for all of us to see our alumni at this cadre. Thank you so much, Dr. Govinda. I'll be failing my duty if I do not thank our beloved principal, Dr. S.P. Dhanapal, who is always the backbone of all our activities. And I need not to mention again, he is such a personality who looks into every minute information, every minute details. He makes sure that it has happened. He is not like a kind of a leader, okay, I have given instructions and it is your duty to do it. So it is his commitment, such a commitment makes all these activities and it brings a perfect shape. Thank you, sir, for all such guidance and leadership what you are playing. My sincere thanks goes to the Indian Pharmaceutical Association Nilgiris local branch, office bearers, the president, secretary, vice president, joint secretary, treasurer, and all the other executive members, the student members, for collaborating with JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty, to celebrate National Pharmacy Week every year and to have such professional activities across the district. Thank you, all the office bearers of IPA Nilgiris local branch. I also thank various committees of National Pharmacy Week who are working for the success of this wonderful event at different capacities, like IT team, organizing, cultural, etc. My special thanks goes to the student organizers. Pardon me if I pronounce it wrongly. Kratorians. Am I right? Kratorians and Rovanzers. Without your commitment and hard work, this event would have not taken this shape. My sincere thanks to all the organizers of 3rd B Form, 3rd Form D, 4th B Form and 4th Form D. For the information of the audience, this is the first time in the history of JSS, 2 different classes are combined together or organizing the Pharmacy Week celebration. Initially, we had sort of little apprehensions how, what would be the cooperation between these 2 batches, that to understand they are immediate junior and seniors. In colleges, we know immediate junior and seniors will not have the good term. It is alternate batches, they will have good term, but not the immediate junior and seniors. But for our surprise, these 2 batches joined their hands and brought this event a grand one. Thank you, the organizers, once again. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the faculty members, supporting, non-teaching, administrative staff for all the support that you are extending. My thanks goes to all the print, electronic and visual media for always bringing our activities into the limelight. I thank the organizers for having given me this wonderful opportunity to propose the vote of thanks in this memorable event. Thank you, one and all.
Now, before we conclude the inaugural ceremony, I would like to request everyone outside the auditorium to join us inside for the replay of the trailers.
என்ன சண்டைக்கு கூட்டாவும் ஒன்னா பந்தயம் போட்டு நாம்பிய போல வந்தண்டி மன்னிப்பு கேட்டு அப்பையும் வீட்டுல போட்டுக்க போறாங்கல்ல போலீஸ் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் முண்டா என்ன கூண்டுல நிப்பாட்டு நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கு சப்போர்ட் உன்னை கூட்டுன்னு போ.
With that, we officially conclude the inaugural session. We invite the guests, faculty members and students to join for high tea, followed by selfie time to capture the memorable occasion.
Post the break, we'll commence with the professional activities and cultural events. The first event, which is the quiz, is going to begin sharply by 2 p.m. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
வீட்டுல போட்டுக்க போறாங்கல்ல போலீஸ் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் முண்டா என்ன கூண்டுல நிப்பாட்டு நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கு சப்போர்ட் உன்னை கூட்டுன்னு போவேன் ஜீப்ல வச்சு கட்டின பொண்டாட்டி அவங்க டாக்டர் லாப வரவேற்பாங்க உன்னோட மாமியா பெரிய டான்ஸ் ஃப்ளோரா கிடண்டி என்னோட ஏரியா உந்தோ ட்ரெஸ்ஸும் பாசித்தோ பிளாட்டே மரியா இது துட்டகம் இது கொண்ட நட்டுக்கமே அது நொடுக்கம் நீண்டைக்கம் பராட்டக்கம் அடக்கமே இது துட்டகம் இது கொண்ட நட்டுக்கமே அது நொடுக்கம் நீண்டைக்கம் பராட்டக்கம் அடக்கமே அடி போட்டு வளர்த்தாதான் நல்ல பேர வாங்கும் அடிக்காம வளர்த்தாக்கா மல்லியா வாழ்த்து சொல்ல ஊரே சேர்ந்ததையா தனித்தனியா இருந்த ரெண்டு பல்லகம் ஃபேமிலியா இப்போ ஆனதையா மனசுல தான் நினைச்சதெல்லாம் நடக்க குணத்துல தான் சாதி இருக்குதையா அழைச்சுக்குவா அழகா ஒன்னா ஒருத்து புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டா அவதான் புண்டாட்டியும் பாத்துக்கோ பார்ட்னராவே சேர்த்துக்கோ ஒய்ஃபு கிட்ட பொய்யே சொல்லாதே தினமும் சண்டை கூட போட்டுக்கோ சாரிகிரி கேட்டுக்கோ சொந்தம் மட்டும் விட்டு தராதே அவள ஒன்ன போல பாத்துக்கோ பார்ட்னராவே சேர்த்துக்கோ ஒய்ஃபு கிட்ட பொய்யே சொல்லாதே தினமும் சண்டை கூட போட்டுக்கோ சாரிகிரி கேட்டுக்கோ சொந்தம் மட்டும் விட்டு தராதே எல்லாரும் ஃப்ரெண்ட போல என்ஜாயா இருக்க கண்ணாரம் தோட கண்டாரே மரியாச்சி சக்கோ மரியாச்சி கிசாலே ட்ரிப்பாலே ப்ளிப்பாலே லோ சவதீகா சவதீகா ட்ரிப்பா ட்ரிப்பிங்கா ட்ரிப்பா ட்ரிப்பிங்கா சவதீகா சவதீகா யக்கா கபுங்கா யக்கா மரியாச்சி எட்டு மரியாச்சி கொஞ்சம் கிசாலே ஹலே ஹலே யக்கா மரியாச்சி எல்லாம் சரியாச்சி லவ்வ குத்தாலே ஹலே ஹலே போதும் வரமாகும் வேலா
அதில் கனவை அள்ளிக்குடி ஹே குறுஞ்சிறகு கோடி விரி வா என் இதழிலேறிச்சிரி கெட்டார் கம்பி மேலே நின்று கீச்சும் கிளியானாய் வண்ணம் இல்லா என் வாழ்விலே வர்ணம் நீட்டுகிறாய் தூரிகா என் தூரிகா ஒரு வானவில் வானவில் மழையென பெய்கிறாய் சாரிகா என் சாரிகா அடிமன வேர்களை வேர்களை கொய்கிறாய் நான் துளி இசையில் வாழும் இலை நீ என்னை தழுவ வீழும் மழை வேர்வரை நழுவி ஆழம் நனை நீ என் உயிரில் நீயும் இணை பியானோ பற்கள் மேலே வந்து ஆடும் மயிலானாய் வண்ணம் இல்லா என் வாழ்விலே வர்ணம் நீ राम से रूठे राम से माने राम सिया की करुण कहानी एक है चंद
हेलो हेलो check check हेलो check Hello, check. Hello, check. 1, 2, 3, check. Test, check. Hello, check. check, check one, check, 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 check one, check, 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 check one, check. 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 Check, check.
Check, 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 check. Mic testing. Check, 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 check. Check mic testing. Check, check mic testing, check. Console anyway da vara porangalla. The mic, this mic is not up to the mark. Check, 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 check. Mic testing, check. Check, 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 mic testing, check, check. Hello, good, check, 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 check. Idoda volume. I think it's table number 4. Check, 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 check. Mic testing, check. Mic testing, check. Echo yella off panidinga. I understand. Yella off la thana irukku. Check, 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 check. Yeah, mic la bass konjo higher vainga, volume kammiya vainga. I'll get the head mic. Check, 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 check. Mic testing, check. Check, 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 check. Audio check, check. Mic testing, check.
Check. Check, 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 test, check. Check, 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 test.